Welcome to AbilityMKE Now. My name is Sue Roskoff. AbilityMKE Now is a show all about integration, bringing people with disabilities and people that don't have a disability together here in the Milwaukee area. AbilityMKE. As we all know, we all have different abilities. Here at AbilityMKE Now, we dive into this topic of diverse abilities. The concept of disability hits a wide range of possibilities. We could be talking about physical or mental disabilities, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, mental health diagnosis, goals of substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own, with people we know, or with people we encounter in our daily lives. Here at AbilityMKE Now, we break down the barriers and celebrate the ability in all of us. So happy to have another opportunity to be here and sharing some wonderful people and wonderful things going on here in the Milwaukee area. I did actually have a guest that was joining us up until about 5 minutes ago. So we are doing let's see, this is the COVID word, to pivot, right? So right now it is pivot time because my guest ended up hopping off and not able to get her back here just yet. So keeping my fingers crossed that we will have her come on back and join in for the evening. But we will have some other pieces to share in the meantime. So one thing that I know I just had gotten word from Kurt just earlier today, he has, I'm pulling up my note on my screen here. He shared with me an event that's actually coming up on Saturday, October 26th. So I do want to at least get that information out and about. There's an event that actually is taking place this one's not nearby, but I believe we're able to tune in and stay tuned to find out where the contact info is for doing this, because this is an event taking place live on stage in Woodland Hills, California. So there's a park there, Warner Center Park. This is a music festival that is a unity, peace, and freedom music festival. One Vision, Heal Our Nation. So it's starting at 10 a.m. And I'm going to go ahead and share the details in this flyer with you. It says, One Vision, Heal Our Nation. Join us for an all-day family-friendly festival with iconic music and guest speakers intended to encourage peace, love, and unity. It is a free event that is starting at 10 a.m. on Saturday, October 26th, 2024. And on stage, you'll be finding oh my goodness, they've got quite the lineup. They have wow. Okay, the suite. They have the main ingredient. They have Tierra Legacy, Think X, an exploration of music of Pink Floyd. They also have Carmit, Willie Chambers, Iron Butterfly, Louis Matoyer, the Blues Angels, Mickey Free, and Raven Redbone. So my goodness. And it also says guest celebrities are yet to be announced, but they have an amazing lineup for this full day event going on in Woodland Hills, California. So again, this is the Unity, Peace, and Freedom Music Festival. And they're going to have all sorts of different ways to get involved and be involved as I'm reading through their notes. So they have more information available online at, my goodness, this little part on the bottom is actually, I hope I'm getting this right, pfanausa.org. The website again, where more information can be found on this, is PFANA, which stands for People for a New America. So PFANAUSA.org. So I'm definitely looking forward to diving in more. Again, this just came across our screens literally today. So sharing that with everyone to be able to find out more. And I know, again, Kurt was very excited about the information when he heard it and left me all sorts of info on it that I will be catching up on. And hopefully we can get even more details available before our show next week. So I'll make sure to give a reminder on this again at the end. But I figure, since I have a chance that an unexpected chance to have some time to think back on this past summer, that our connections here with how Ability MKE Now came to be actually has its roots in water skiing. So actually adaptive water skiing. So we are show skiers. We've had a very, very fun summer with the Pewaukee Lake Water Ski Club. We actually celebrated our 40th anniversary season with our ski club this year, and with that had a theme that honestly, when we were told it was going to be a Barbie theme, I was a little skeptical on how it was all going to come together. But I'd say it's one of the more fun years that we've had with our club, as far as how the theme went, how the show came together, all the pieces. It really, really was a fun season with that, and we were able to have some success to report as well with our adaptive skiing that we love to do as well. So our club got to do one big day on the last Saturday in August, where I actually am, I, I'm trying to remember just how many skiers we had. We did have, oh goodness, I believe it was 9 or 10 skiers, but we got in closer to 15 to 18 ski runs during the course of the day on a nice warm day in August out on Pewaukee Lake, doing some adaptive skiing and celebrating one of our past ski members. Greg Wilkinson was an inspirational gentleman that we now have named the day after. So it's the Greg Wilkinson Memorial Waterfront Festival. And I'm just going to take a minute and highlight Greg, because that is a guy who made a massive impact on so many people. He was our president for several years, and one of the things that truly touched him in he would not be able to speak about the adaptive skiing events without turning to tears because he was so passionate about it and so moved by all of the people that he met, that he skied with, that we got to celebrate that day with. It was so momentous for him and for all of us, but this is something that touched him so that when unfortunately we lost him, actually I think it's been about a decade now, because I remember Alana being, gosh, a toddler at his funeral. So he's been gone for a while, but his legacy lives on in what we all do with the skiing and with what we remember. Gives us an excuse to talk about him and his legacy with what he was able to do to impact so many here in the Milwaukee area with the adaptive water skiing that we've done. Um, I have got more I can share on that, but I do see that one wonderful friend, Midwest friend here is joining us. I see Debbie Miller is in the house and want to give a chance to get her on in here to say hello and touch base here. So Debbie, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. We have exciting news here in Kansas City. Grandbaby number 18 arrived safe and sound. So uh we're
Good.
we're kind of excited here in the Miller clan. So
Congratulations. And is this a local baby, or where have you gotten a chance to say hello personally yet?
yes, we did actually go and spend a few minutes with mom, dad, and the baby. So got to actually have some baby snuggles. So that was pretty exciting. And it was nice that there was no problem for us to get Ken in. The accessibility was awesome and easy, which was sometimes not the case, even in hospitals where it is accessible. You still end up walking like forever. This one I could park right by the front door, go straight into the elevator, up to the right place, and yeah, super easy, very accessible, and I really appreciated that. So,
That makes a big difference. So is he using a walker? Is he using a wheelchair? How is he getting around these days?
oh, wheelchair. Uh-huh.
Wheelchair accessibility. And okay, so funny, isn't it? You're like you're saying, even in places where it's a hospital, it's a place where you would expect good accessibility. And if I'm hearing you correctly, it's not always the case.
Well, I mean, accessible to get in and out of is one thing, but if you have to walk, like push your wheelchair a couple of blocks in some of these big, huge facilities, whether it's a hospital or some big shopping place, that's kind of the disability or the ability to deal with it may be there, but not very convenient for those people. So um, I love that you guys are doing all kinds of ability things like wheelchair. I can't really even imagine doing I've never skied personally, and I'm like, they would probably have to tie me onto that chair to enjoy the whole skiing event. So I've enjoyed watching your videos that you shared from some of your events. Those are awesome. So congratulations and thanks for doing that for people who actually want to do that.
And I can appreciate what you're saying. I know we have some friends that look at what we do and have firmly claimed a spot on shore because being on the water is not the place for them, which is fine. We all, like we say, we all have different abilities. We all have different interests in what's all
Well,
happening. And
yeah. And some of us have to be the cheer. I mean, you always have to have a cheerleader. So your friend is awesome at being the cheerleader, I'm sure.
that's perfect. Yeah, because there are so many roles to fill. Having enough cheerleaders on shore honestly makes a big difference. People forget that part of, it's not just go behind the boat and wave, see you later. We go out of our way because us, we are show skiers. We like to go by the crowd on shore and smile and wave because really that's the famous phrase right there, smile and wave. That's part of what it's about. I actually remember back I think we're dating back probably 7-ish years when we had a good friend of ours. Chad Murphy Price is a local friend here, and he actually had the great opportunity to be interviewed on one of our local news stations. And we had some kind of a camera. I don't know what all the equipment is, but it was with us on the water. So we were mic'd up, but you could actually hear us out there and what was being talked about and some of the water spray and everything. And it was interesting actually as I listened to how the production was put together. I'm always telling them whenever we get close to shore, I'm like, smile and wave, come on, smile and wave. And that part was actually picked up and included in the footage was that. So
Your
that almost
famous
became
statement, huh?
yeah, absolutely. And I don't remember what the reason was that they ended up coming back a second night to get enough of the footage that they wanted to get. So there was two different evenings when we were out there skiing, and of all things, within their 3-minute video that they put together, that part came up both nights when we were out there, which, it's just what I do. I'm out there doing the whole, hey, smile and wave. And that phrase was picked up both times. So you heard it twice during the 3-minute piece that they put together. So me personally, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you got me saying it twice. But really, that is it, because we're having fun out there. We are smiling at everybody on shore and trying to interact as much as we can from the distance there. But that was, yeah, that's one piece that makes me smile every time I think on that.
Well,
But
that's awesome. I think a lot of times we get so focused on what we're doing that we forget about the nicety things that we can add to it. And you know what, I'm sure it takes a lot of I'm thinking it takes concentration to make sure you stay up and focused and don't fall on your face or whatever. So, it's probably good to have that constant reminder to smile and wave.
well, and when you have somebody new out there and perhaps mom and dad or friend or somebody's on shore watching, it's kind of nice to smile and wave at them too so that they know, hey, I'm okay. I'm out here having fun. It's all good. Because
Yes, that
especially
would
when
be
it's that
very
first
helpful.
time. So it is it's something we love to share, and I'm glad that we do get to have enough of our ski club show ski friends with us that often of them are quite outgoing and will get a little crazy out there. I know we have some friends that they'll wear their hats or their sunglasses or if you can imagine, I know Rick, one of our good friends, will often go out there not in a fancy life preserver. He'll put on one of those, if you can picture the orange old style, put it over your head kind of strap on life preservers. You don't see people in those all that often these days, but I'm telling you, that's what he wears when he's out there. It's still valid Coast Guard approved flotation, and it looks all goofy, but that's part of why he does it because it's fun to watch and see that being part of the little show we put on out there, so to speak.
Yeah, kind of the um, clown act without all of the other stuff, just enough to get your attention and not enough to freak out everybody.
Exactly. Keeping it fun because that is something I've heard from people along the way when we've done these skiing events. When people first show up, they're nervous because they don't know exactly what to expect if they've never done it before. So it is a thing to make it fun, make it comfortable, and you know, for almost everybody we've had out there, once they're done doing their first run, they're like, okay, when can I go again? I want to do this again because it's fun and they get the bug, the itch to go again, because once you've done it and you get that feel of the water splashing you and the exhilaration of what that is to be able to go at I don't even know what we ski at now for that probably 15, 17 miles an hour somewhere in there and to have the water, the wind, all the things it it's kind of addicting. It's so much fun. So I'm so glad we get to
Wow.
share it out on the water and here that we get to share that there's probably a lot of people that don't know it's an option as an adaptive sport. So that's where
Right.
getting the word out is for me, I get excited about it. It is fun. So, but I do want to take a minute here because I brought you in right away, and I know you're a great friend of the show. Always glad to have you here. Remind everybody what you do, who you are. How do we know each other?
Thank you. Well, Happy Neighborhood Project was a great way to meet a lot of new friends. And even though I'm in Wisconsin a lot, I have never met you and Kurt or Emily. Um, so we generally like skim past the Madison area. So to get to far north Wisconsin to football, Packer land, and cheese curds and happy cheese curd day yesterday, but since I missed it, I'm celebrating it today as well.
Yes.
Except cheese curds here aren't as fresh as they are up at home, but the well, it's factory just down the road from mom and dad's house. So, but all over North America, I'm happy to help families and friends and small businesses have access to law firms in their area to help them actually protect their rights. A lot of our rights we know of, but we don't actually fight for them in many cases because, by myself, I'm not I may not feel qualified to require people to fit into or to acknowledge my rights. And so having Legal Shield for a little over $1 a day and our identity protection plan also a little over $1 a day, I can actually have my rights enforced. I can actually know what they are and have somebody explain them to me. And if I need to have somebody else reminded that I have these rights, then I can have an attorney actually on call in a very short period of time. I can make a phone call or actually text on my phone, my app, and say, hey, I need to talk to an attorney for this matter and give them a specific time or, but at least call me within the next 8 hours and actually have it happen. Not many attorneys today have that requirement. Our attorneys all do. And I love that All of our attorneys have at least been practicing law for over 20 years, and so they're well versed in all things law, which is not necessarily something I'm great at. I have a plenty of mom and now grandma uh, rules and expectations, but somehow they don't always fall into the legal aspects. So it's good to have people that I can call my friends right on my phone and actually help protect those rights. So
Yeah, because there's so much of when you start talking law, I mean, we're all familiar with a lot, but the finer details, you do need to have a lawyer to understand all those finer details and what truly are your rights. And I even think with the disability community too, there's a group called Disability Rights Wisconsin that exists for that purpose, where there's folks with disabilities who can't afford an attorney and have legal, like, I can only imagine. I've heard some stories, but the type of legal rights that those that have disabilities, that they need to be able to have a way to ask questions, to know what the right answer is, legally speaking, to
right.
have that in literally in your back pocket
Yes,
is amazing.
yeah, I'm kind of blown away about, the questions and the help that they can give us. And, for a little over $1 a day, it's for your whole family, not just one person, but for your whole family to be able to ask those questions. Um, and even have your wills written with our disability community. There's a lot of families that need to have specific kind of specific language in their wills or a trust, and our attorneys are very knowledgeable about all those kind of things. They're knowledgeable about whether you technically need a trust or how it needs to be worded. I know I've had a lot of people say, a will's not enough. You have to have a trust. And I'm like, I'm not an attorney. I'm like, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just telling you this is what we do. But I did hear one of our attorneys mention lately that um, one of the things that people mention or talk about that is that of course adds to their bill. Well, for Legal Shield, our attorneys are there to make sure you've got exactly what you need and not padding their bank account. I appreciate that. I'm sure attorneys need lots of money because they're spent a lot of money to get through all of those years of training, but I don't, as you know, with a lot of things, I don't want to pay for more than I actually need, but I do want to have what I need and not overpay for it. So
That's
it's a
perfect.
great combination there. So works good for me.
Well, and I know you mentioned the having a will. That is, I love the phrase that you used recently about having a roadmap instead of a scavenger hunt when the time does, because that's one thing. No matter who you are, we all have one thing in common: someday we're going to die. And we never want to think about that. We don't want
Right.
to admit that it's a reality, and there's so much emotion that goes into that a lot of us bury our head in the sand. We don't want to think about it. We don't want to plan for that. Oh my gosh, how dare I plan? If I plan for it, then I've got to acknowledge that's a thing. And
Right.
it is. And when I think about friends who have children with disabilities, or on the other side, parents that have disabilities, or maybe it's a sibling. There are so many things that go into the planning process so that you can have your loved one taken care of once you're gone. I mean, that's a reality that we really should take seriously and put the time and the thought into it now, so that it's not a scramble and scavenger hunt for finding documents, for knowing what the right answer is. What were your wishes? How did you want this to proceed once you're no longer here to have the say in what you're doing? That's the
Right.
way that
Yeah.
you can have your say and put that in in place now.
Right, yeah. And I love too that Legal Shield, we actually have a document. So one of the things that I guess for myself, and I'm assuming a lot of other people would be freaking out at the whole talk about the will stuff, is that I don't know where to start or what to do. So our document actually is right there. You, it asks your name, your birthday, different information, and then it just basically walks you through the whole thing. So I don't know, I think it's like a 6 pager thing where you fill in information and then you send that off to the attorneys, the law office, and if they have questions, they call you back and help ask you to clarify different things and make it understandable. So it's not even nothing, it's not something you actually have to stress out over how to do it or what to do.
Excellent. Yeah, to be able to make that process simple is that's a godsend right there.
Yeah, it is.
So, well, and I know we only have a couple minutes left here, but we do have another friend joining us. I want to give her a chance that we can say hello real quick. Marianne, how are you tonight? We have Marianne of Waikiki joining us.
Hola, I'm joining you from San Carlos, Mexico.
Excellent. Oh, you are back in Mexico. I know you had a bit of a jaunt for you were up in Canada for a while too. So back to the warmth, huh?
Yes, I am. And we had a great day this week, Sue. Monday, Leanne McLaughlin went to the Hawaii School for the Deaf and presented a water unit to the school and the principal and the 15 deaf children in the library. Thank you so much for recording it. And Leanne was flying back to Seattle. I was in Canada and I'm in San Carlos, Mexico. And today I went to the bilingual school Naret in Guaymas. What an amazing private school. And we met for a couple of hours with another kindergarten teacher from United States of America, another book author from Arizona, me from Hawaii, presenting our books. And it's an English speaking school. And so we will bring our books in and speak in English and teach them the finger spelling alphabet. And so what a journey it's been back to school here. And yeah, thank you, Jay Stoyan, for interviewing me up in your part of the world in Canada. I got to go to Vancouver Island. I did a book signing at the Coquitlam Library with another sign language interpreter and some deaf community. They're real excited about getting the books. And yeah, so I was at San Carlos Yacht Club last night talking about Leon coming down here with the Parrot Head president and doing a presentation and finding the schools and orphanages here to bring water units and the Acts of Kindness series book down to this area.
Excellent. Oh, that's beautiful. And this being anti-bullying month and the whole concept of making sure that people understand how how bullying works, how much it is a negative in our lives. And I know you have a book that addresses that directly, and I love what you have given the world with the sign language and all, yeah, rapid acts of kindness. Thank you so much for all you have done, and I'm excited to see where things go for you. We are well, I just want to make a moment here of showing my appreciation, Debbie, for what you do with being here, Marianne, with all you've done and all of the adventures that you can share with us here. So with Ability MKE Now, we are here enjoying this time that River West Radio provides for us. I'm so glad to have this opportunity, and we will be back giving more stories and sharing more guests with you in the very near future. So as always,